Simon, thank you for coming to Horsemart to see us. We're absolutely thrilled to have you here. Congratulations. How did it feel?
Do you know, it still hasn't kind of sunk in really 100%. It's, I was saying on the driving down here, it feels like eons ago that we were actually in Hong Kong. But I mean, you know, the reality is it's only 2 weeks ago, just over. So yeah, it's amazing. I mean, since I've got back, there's been so much really good support, and actually got recognised in Tesco's, which was a bit scary. Some woman running down the aisle after me, and I thought, oh my God, I've stolen something out of her basket. But no, she just wanted to say hi and well done. So yeah, it's been amazing, amazing.
What was your highlight? What was the best moment of the experience out there?
Well, obviously, these two guys were pretty high at top of the list.
Did you get them together, or was it an individual?
Well, as it turned out, because they had to postpone the prize giving for the team event, because it would have been too late. It was like something like 12:30 at night.
Right.
And we were all riding first thing in the following morning, so it ended up with me having first my individual medal, and then about 10 minutes later they wheeled me back out again onto the podium for the team medal. So yeah, it was that kind of hour was just completely spent having medals on, bunches of flowers, lots of smiling, lots of, which, you know, it was amazing. It was an incredible atmosphere we had there.
I bet you didn't sleep for days, did you?
Oh, trust me. As soon as I got back to the hotel, I was
Really?
I was out. Because I think because we were running on so much adrenaline and excitement, and unfortunately for me, as soon as when I won the silver medal, I was informed that I was going to be drugs tested, and my horse was going to be drugs tested. So they took him off. Well, he peed immediately, as he's terribly well trained. So, but unfortunately I had the medal ceremony, so I had to have these two guys following me around everywhere. We went to a press conference, they were there, sat in the back, came back, and then the competition was starting to run down then, and people were celebrating and stuff. And by the time I'd got to the doping office, done what I had to do, and got back to the stables, everyone had just about conked out.
Oh.
They were, you know, the champagne had been flowing, so it took about 2.5 hours for me to actually go to the loo.
Wow.
So well, I saved my celebrating, but that night I think everyone was just mentally, physically. I mean, we came back, the horses were all lying down. The whole thing, you know, there must be a huge amount of pressure on them as well.
And how about your teammates? How did they all cope? How did you all get on out there?
Well, I think we got on pretty well. I mean, you know, we had kind of, the village was actually a hotel, which they'd kind of just put together for us guys to have, and we had basically a floor. We shared a floor with Canada, which was, they were sound guys, they were really good, but I was very lucky to have, I had Ricky Balshaw, the young man that won silver in the 1B freestyle.
Right.
He was my roommate. Well, obviously he's a lot younger than me. And he was trying desperately to teach me street, because I said apparently I need to loosen up a bit more and be a bit more hip.
Excellent.
I used the word hip and I got shouted for that, because apparently that's not a word you use anymore. I don't know what the correct terminology is, but so I spent the entire time with him trying to teach me street talk, and we just had a really good time. Everybody gets on. We leave all our competition and angst to when we get into the arena.
Sure. That's
what it's all about. And then when we're off out of the arenas, we get on, we have fun, we party. You know, let's face it, no one is more of a party animal than Lee Pearson. And we just had a really good time, and it was nice because it was a good mix this time, because we had, you know, the 3 Olympic virgins, me being the oldest virgin in history, Ricky and Felicity, and Sophie still very young. So it was a really good mix of old and new, if you like. So we got on famously.
And who did you meet out there that you were really thrilled to meet?
Oh, gosh.
Any big names?
Not so much the big names. It was a lot of the other competitors. I find it really interesting, and not from a morbid point of view, but I find it amazing how some of these people, whether you're born with a disability, whether you become ill, or whether it's through an accident, the stories behind some of the people, that how they get there are unbelievable. Well, not unbelievable, but in fact, yeah, some of them are so far-fetched you kind of think, wow, that's almost so unbelievable, that's got to be real. And some of them are just, and they're amazing people, you know, they've come through all sorts of things. Whether, I mean, I met a young lady from South Africa that she'd been shot in I think a drive-by type thing, and left on the side of the road. That kind of, all those kind of things. And unless you get into talking with them, they don't kind of shove it in your face. Oh, poor me, I've had this happen to me and I've had that happen to me. It's not until you get talking to them and they kind of start, they say, oh, how did you get here? And you start chatting on that, whether it be in the village or at the venue or whatever. And I've made some great friends. I met another lady a young girl from South Africa, Philippa Johnson, who won both grade 4s. She's a phenomenal person, completely inspirational, the nicest person you're ever going to meet. And I just it was people like that made it for me, meeting the competitors.